just to talk a little bit about why we're here.
What's up, everybody? You probably hear it in the background. It's episode counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Broker Talks, and we are getting ready to do it big on a Monday on MLK Day. Okay, and this is gonna be great. This is gonna be good. Bunch of energy, bunch of activity about to be in the place where we're gonna focus over the next 90 minutes or so on reaching out and talking to brokers, how to do it, why we do it, and all that good fun stuff. So come on in, have fun, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. Here we go. I'll bring us over and see our good friends that are on the Zoom who are looking to make live calls. If you are on a Zoom or want to participate in that, definitely make sure you chime in so you can. And if you can't, you can tune in on any one of these platforms, right? Facebook or YouTube, and be able to participate by watching what we have going on. So let me go ahead and bring us on over and get ready to have some fun today. Let's do it. If you're joining us from YouTube or one of the other channels, definitely let me know that you are here. You can hear everything going well in the background. If you can, throw something in the chat for me. Say what's up. Let me hear your charges.
Stepped up one day and asked me if I would mind if he joined my call. And I just had to laugh, but would I mind? Not only did I not mind, I was absolutely honored that he wanted to do that. Many of you, I'm sure, know Eddie already from the Sub-2 community. If you're new and you don't know Eddie yet, connect with him immediately and stay connected with him. Eddie is a mover and a shaker and is making things happen. Eddie will be buying multifamily assets this year. And just somebody to get to know. So the other thing, so that's the background on this call and how it got started. And we want to get into it real quickly here. The other thing I want to mention about that is, we are now part of the Multifamily Freedom Chasers, as you can see behind Eddie's head there. It's just a phenomenal. There you go. Now we can see the whole thing. It's a phenomenal community. If you got to us through that, great. If you didn't, get connected with Multifamily Freedom Chasers on Facebook. Just great content. It's all free, and they're constantly pouring into the community with more information, whether it's on reaching out to brokers, underwriting. Sunday night is what they call their activation call. So we get everybody activated for the week. Then you come in here on Monday and start making calls, start the process. Then you come back on Tuesday and you underwrite those deals. You do your napkin underwrite. And we have, and then on Wednesday, every other week, it won't be this week, we talk about debt. So those are, just three main things you need for this business. And coming up, we're going to have a deep dive into underwriting. I don't know when that's going to start exactly, but our own Victor NG is going to lead that, and that's going to be amazing. So with that, Eddie, I'll turn it over to you. I'm going to get prepared to start making some phone calls here. And that's the other. Is there anybody here who has phone numbers, who has broker names, who's planning on calling today, trying to call live? If you are, please raise your hand so we know you're doing that, and we can kind of keep an eye on you. And I'll just be flagging Eddie down when I get somebody on the line, so I can turn on the volume and let you guys hear that. So
turn up the volume.
That's it. If anybody else is ready to make, maybe we need to be calling people out, Eddie, and volunteer that if they don't volunteer themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I had a great experience one week doing that, and this young lady stepped up and she was scared to death, but she did it. She made the call, and you could see things change for her on the call as she asked questions, as the broker responded. And that's what it takes, right? Your first call is probably going to be terrible. So find a broker in a state you know you don't want to buy in, and call there.
Yeah.
And even if it's a broker in your market, right? It's really hard to mess anything up permanently, right?
Yeah.
I have a great story from one of the guys who, the original member of the Multifamily Freedom Chasers, who called the broker and completely messed the call up, totally. Well, he called him back sometime later after he'd had a little bit more experience, and he, knew what to say now, right? And he basically repaired that relationship, if you will, if it was ever really damaged. And they laugh about it now, right? They joke about that first call, how terrible it was. And that guy is sending him off-market deals today, right? So there's nothing to be afraid of. They're just people. So what if they know if you're brand new? You know what? Mama told me honesty was the best policy. I didn't always listen to her. She's absolutely right. Just, be honest with people. Now, I don't offer the information if it's not necessary, right? I don't tell them that, hey, by the way, I'm brand new. I try to approach them with extreme confidence. I leverage the experience of the group, and that's how I approach these guys, right? They don't have to, maybe they'll never know. Maybe they won't know I'm brand new until we close that first deal. And I tell them, oh, by the way, this is my first deal. And I think, there are plenty of stories where people are shocked by that, right? If you approach them with confidence, you hold up the clipboard, you walk through the plant like you own the place, people treat you with respect. And that's basically my attitude when I'm talking to these brokers. Even though I haven't closed the deal, I don't care. You've got a room full of people here with varied experience. Come on Sunday nights, you'll have over 100 people, many of them who have closed deals, many of them have closed multiple deals. So you are one person away from somebody who has closed a multifamily transaction, and you can leverage their experience. So
there it is.
With that, I'll turn it back over to you, Eddie.
There it is. There it is. Appreciate you. And you said a bunch of things, man. And I really want to say shout out to everybody that's here live on the chat on Martin Luther King Day. Most banks are closed, if not all of them, I actually believe. Most people didn't have to go to work today, and etc. The kids are home. It's chaos, right? Especially if you have kids. But for the most part, you are tuned in here at 2:00 in the afternoon because you have a goal and you are focused on something. And we appreciate you taking that time and wanting to come hang out with us to be able to do so. And in return, we want to give you guys as much value as possible. As you heard Peter mention, he talked about the ecosystem. And I just want to show you guys this in case you want to just take a screenshot of it right now. You can, activation on Sunday. Today we're doing a broker Zoom. Tomorrow we're doing napkin underwriting, which I believe I saw that handsome individual. His name is Ed. He is on here. I have his picture. I have to upload it in here. So his picture should be here with me. We're going to be doing napkin underwriting tomorrow. So if we get something moving today from one of these brokers, on tomorrow's call, we're going to do the first level of underwriting, napkin underwriting. And then every 2 weeks, we have our Wednesday debt call where we talk to Jerry and his wife, and they go through how to get the money for the deal. So we're creating the ecosystem. So no matter what part of the game you want to focus on or where you are in this game, you can be able to succeed by just being around the right individuals. And you all here are that type. You have that type. You are that type of individual who is looking to succeed. So here's what I want. I see Virginia's doing it. I see Miss Simmons down here in the ATL. How are you, girl? My guy Daryl is doing it. I need to see more people doing the same thing. Peter has it down pat. He has his name, he has where he's located, and he has what his superpower is. And then he put his phone number. You guys have to be doing that. The point of us being able to create these environments for everybody is so that you can connect. So if you are on this Zoom, I need you to do this one simple thing. You want to go to yourself, find your face, right click the three buttons, change your name. I'm going to be doing it with you. All right, so boom, Eddie Charger, ATL Shoddy. All right, and then I put my phone number right there. So now that's changed. Why is this important? It's important because if someone has a particular deal in Georgia, they know they have a buddy. In fact, on here right now, we have a few people on here that will be able to lend them a hand for anything that they may need in Georgia. Right? And that's how we want to do it. Now, in the chat, here's what you guys should be doing in the chat. In the chat, what you should be doing is pasting all your contact information and what it is that you do. So contact information, you want to put your superhero power. Grant just did it. I love this. And so Grant, the only thing I would add on that, right? Because Grant, you are being selfish in a good way, right? Grant posted, and I'm just going to read it. He says, hey, everyone, from Dallas, my strong suit is underwriting. I'm working on becoming jack of all trades, so I become an asset to the team. Would love to connect. That is perfect, except Grant is missing one thing. Grant did not put what he's looking for. We want to be able to help you too, Grant. So also make sure you put what you're looking for. Right, Grant, let's say looking for a team is what his thing is. Okay, say I'm looking to become part of a team, right? So that not only are you leading with value, but you're also making sure that you're going to put yourself in a position to get value too. Okay, trust me, I understand everybody here has the same mindset of being a go-giver, but we are not in a nonprofit. Everyone here is investing time away from family, away from being able to make money in some other capacity, et cetera, et cetera. You need to be getting compensated for that. And the best way to help is the best way to make money is by helping people. So allow us the opportunity to help you, Grant, and everybody else, right? So put that in the chat. You guys need to do this in every room that you're in. You should be doing this, okay? Who you are, where you're from, how to get in contact with you. Put also, what your superpower is, your strong suit, and then put what you're looking for. Super, super important. Now, I know we have Laura who says she's never made a call to a broker before, which is cool. I'm super excited for her. She's raised her hand. And then we also got Peter still dialing. I also want to make sure that you guys know something, right? So this is being streamed in different areas at the same time, okay? Now, if you aren't able to participate, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if that's the case, what I want for you to do is to simply just watch it on the stream. You can watch it on YouTube. You can go to my channel. You can go to Peter's channel. You can watch it on Facebook. You can go to Multifamily Freedom Chasers Multifamily Freedom Chasers group and watch it there and still not miss a beat. Okay. But if you are on here, trust and believe this is the action takers. These are the people who are going to be afraid to get put on Front Street, but have absolutely no problem doing it because they understand this is how you get to the next level. There is no way around it. You can't hide behind this, right? This is how you get to the next level. And we are going to do that. I want you all to be uncomfortable. I want secretly, deep down in your hearts, you're saying, Lord, I will build many churches in your honor if you make sure Eddie does not pick me today and put me on Front Street. Okay, that is my goal. My goal is to make that happen. And we are going to guide you. Laura must be like a secret agent or something, because that's exactly what I was about to say next. So Laura says, I can't say I know what to say yet. I can talk to anyone looking to buy in Florida, Tampa. I need to learn more, looking for a team that would help make taking imperfect action. So here is what we are supplying on this call. This is what we do, okay? We're going to tell you how to say, we're going to tell you what to say, and we're also going to tell you how to go about saying it, okay? As you guys know, I'm one of the kind of the leaders in Sub 2, very, very good friends with Pace. That is my guy. I'm part of the Elephant Challenge that's happening. In fact, the other one is going to happen at the end of this month. It's going to be amazing. But let me share something with you now. If you take the script that they are explaining for you to use and you just are repeating the exact same thing, calling the exact same brokers, you are going to get nowhere. If 2,000 people with the same list is calling the same properties they're seeing on LoopNet, how many calls do you think a broker needs to have in order for them to realize what the hell is going on? Right? 2? Sorry, my guy Jose said 2. I'm assuming, okay, 3, right? Even if the broker is on an off day, by the time he gets to his 5th call, he's like, how are you saying the same exact words, the same exact cadence? Like, what is happening, right? And now they're asking you questions. Where'd you get my info from? Are you working with any other groups? Like, and now you're stuck because why? It's messing up the flow of your script, right? Your script doesn't have a place for the broker to ask you a question that completely throws you off, right? So here's what we're doing. What we're going to do is we're going to teach you what to say, right? But Laura, I'm going to also work with you to teach you why you're saying it. And hopefully we get a chance to hear Peter on a call, and you'll hear Peter not even use the script because Peter, as we call him in these parts, Billionaire P, right? We call him that is because Peter can get on the phone, not even use the script, and he's just having conversations. Well, our goal is to teach you how to have conversations with brokers at a very educated level where these individuals now are like, you know what? Yeah, I want to know more about you or who you're with because you sound like you know how this is supposed to go. I think I saw my guy Ed unmute himself. Ed, did you want to say something?
Yeah, absolutely. I love how many
Let's
people
do
are
it.
in here. I love that we have the same people showing up every week and new people jumping in. Obviously, we have Peace. With his time is amazing. You with your time. One thing I want to kind of point out that I think will just help everyone get more comfortable is how many of you people have met me in person? None. I haven't even met Eddie in person. He's like a brother to me. Like, I love the guy. I haven't met Peter in person, but I love the guy, and I can talk to these guys for hours. So what's the difference? You're talking to someone you've never met before. A lot of you have never even talked to me before. But if I told you guys to unmute and had a conversation with you, we'd have no issues. You'd be comfortable. And you'd ask me stuff about underwriting possibly, or multifamily, or something else, or a property. Let's say I have a property here where I live in LA, and I said, hey, someone give me a call and ask me about this property. I know everything about the details. I own the place. But what would be the difference if you're just calling someone else about it? Just because we're in the same Zoom call, it's more comfortable. Look at it like that. Yeah. And if it helps, you have all these people here to support you, to give you pointers on notes, and this is the best time to do it. You have 30 people in here that can help you and say, hey, try asking this, or, oh, they didn't mention this part, or, hey, you're doing great, keep it up. Yep. What's the difference? Just have fun with it. The more fun you make it, the less nervous you'll be. Because I used to have to cold call when I was a realtor, so I know how it feels. I used to dread doing it. I was like, oh, God, I don't want to cold call. And I'm calling homeowners. Brokers are a little nicer. Homeowners, I got every cuss word and insult you can imagine in the book. I've had people wish I was dead. I was like, Jesus, I'm just trying to do my job here. No broker's going to tell you to F up and I hope you die. And if they do, then they have other issues. So just have fun with it. You know, you have an amazing group here. Everyone's here to support. Peter and Eddie are always going to be here as a lifeline to help you out. And don't be afraid to do that either. Hey, I have my business partner. They just walked in. Mind if they have a few questions? Mind if they hop on? It's easy to hand off. And that way you build a little experience. And then Peter could come in and close the billing, close like he does. So have fun with it. You know, it's cool to do this stuff. Like, I used to hate it, but then now it's just like, I wish I could do it more, but I'm stuck underwriting because that's my true love, you know? Like, I love to underwrite. So have fun with it. If anyone has questions, you guys have two amazing people here to help out. I'll be in the chat helping out as well. And let's get some stuff for tomorrow's underwriting, you know?
we have this schedule set up for a reason. We get excited on Sunday. Monday we call brokers. And Tuesday we underwrite. And Wednesday we send an offer and lock up the deal. Like we all want a multifamily. We all want that wealth and to have that hundreds of units. It all starts with a phone call. So I'm gonna stop rambling because I can keep going if you guys let me. But I'm excited to have you guys here, and let's kill it today.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna kick this thing off. Laura, are you able to like I was gonna say unmute yourself, but can you thing your video? Can you also show yourself? Unless you're like in like a dungeon somewhere. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, okay. There you go. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, amazing, amazing. Glad you are here. So you're pretty much brand new. Have you ever called a broker before?
No, not at all.
All right. And have you ever done any sort of multifamily work or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. Now, and this is for everybody. So as I'm asking these questions, ask yourself these or answer these questions yourself as well, right? So have you done anything in the single family space?
I have helped find buyers for dispo, but that's it so far. I don't own any properties yet, so.
Okay, perfect. And how did you help find buyers for dispo? Were you calling buyers or?
It was mostly over like Facebook messaging, but
okay.
Yeah, if they wanted to hop on a call, I hopped on a call with them.
Okay, perfect. All right. So you're not afraid of calling. Like if I get a broker on the phone right now, you're not gonna like have a panic attack and we got to do like research to find out where you're at so we can send police officers to check on you. Like you're good?
Yeah, I won't have a panic attack. I might mess it up, but.
Listen, all right. Let me give you guys the secrets on that. Okay. In my honest opinion, I think those who mess it up are going to be better at this. I also think those who are okay with letting the broker know, like, hey, I'm the new person on the team. I do have a team. We are successful. We're looking to buy more properties. We recently just closed on some. But I'm the new guy, and they put me on reaching out to brokers. So unfortunately for you, you might get annoyed with me, but just have a little patience. Is that all right? Just had a couple questions I want to ask you about X property. I promise you that mindset, one, takes the pressure off of you. Because now I don't have to pretend to be this like, well, hi, how you doing? I'm Eddie, and I was calling you about your property here. And then he asked me a question, and now the dumb voice I was making doesn't make sense, right? Because now I don't know how to answer that. But I should if I was an expert, right? So I don't portray to be an expert. I let them know up front, like, hey, I'm pretty new, but I do know what I'm doing. I want to call you about this property. My team and I are interested in it, right? So that's the first thing. So it's okay to say that you knew. The other thing I wanted to say is I'm going to give you guys an outline of a script, right? I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can be able to see it. And it's just an outline. There is nothing special about this script. I don't want anybody to think like, oh, okay, this is the script I should use. It is, when I mean outline, it is the bare bones. It's like 8 sentences and maybe a couple on the bottom side of it or whatever like that. But I'm also going to share it so that everybody else can see. And where are we at? Okay. And let me see. Ed, what you said? Do we have an email? Yes, Ed, we do. Reach out to Jen and see which one that is. I want to say it's info at, but reach out to Jen just in case. All right. So here it is right here. Okay. Hi, I'm Eddie with, and you can say any group that you with. Now, here's one thing that I would tell you guys to do. Obviously, you're here. You either came because you've been on one of the calls in the ecosystem before. You like what we got going on, and so if you want to use multifamily freedom chasers, you can. You do not have to, though. You can say any other group. Here's why I'm telling you to say one that you are either committed to or you're at least building a relationship with, Because if they say, well, can I talk to somebody else from your group? And you've been lying this whole time saying like, yeah, I'm with Grant Cardone. And he's like, oh, can I talk to one of the teams on the underwriter with Grant Cardone? And you're like, how the hell do I find out who's on Grant Cardone's team as an underwriter, right? Like you're literally like pooping yourself all over the phone. So you don't want to do that. You want to put yourself in a position where if they say, well, who else is on your team? I can help explain this. Do you have an underwriter? You can have Ed or you can have Victor hop in and say, yeah, I'm here. What's up? I just so happen to be walking past Laura's virtual office. He doesn't have to say virtual, but he can if he wanted to, right? And just be like, yeah, I'm here. Okay, so you want the support. Okay, so choose whichever group that you want to affiliate yourself with so you can leverage them. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys the secret here. I don't like I don't like the games that are played in this marketplace sometimes because I think there are games. I think there's a marketing game that's being played. People put out a lot of information asking and begging for your attention because they can make money from that. Now, what do you get out of it? You're not just a consumer. You get to leverage those relationships that you're building. So I want you to leverage what we are presenting to you here, right? Leverage the fact that, hey, I'm with this multifamily Freedom Chasers group, and I wanted to talk to you about a property and then we give you the address. All right. Couple of quick questions I just wanted to ask you. Is that okay? Is now a good time for us to talk? I always like to ask that up front because if you don't ask it up front, what happens is, Laura, you start asking, 2-3 questions, and then what they start to do is start telling you to go get the rest of the information from the website, right? And it's like, I don't want to do that, right? I see what's on the website already. I actually want to get this information from you. Okay. And last week, if you guys missed the call last week, please go back and watch it. You can catch it on Peter's page. You can catch it on the Multifamily Freedom Chasers page. You can also catch it on my YouTube channel. Peter had a broker that told him, hey, well, some of this information is on the website. And the reason why we started calling him Billionaire P is because he responded by saying, oh, is it? Okay, perfect. I'll take a look at that in a second. Let me ask you another quick question since I have you on the phone. 30 seconds later, the guy was trying to be Peter's best friend, right? This was the first time I've ever seen a broker ask for somebody's phone number and contact information, not the other way around, right? And so you want to make sure that you explain to them, like, look, I'm trying to build a relationship. Okay, we're trying to work on some things here. All right. Now, there's some lingo in the space that you need to know. All right. Whisper price or guidance price. That's how you say asking price. In the multifamily space, you don't say what's the asking price. And a lot of times when they give you the whisper price, it won't be a full price. It's not going to be 8 million or 80 million. It's going to be $200,000 per door or per unit. All right. What we're going to do is all these like tips and taps that I'm going over with you right now, we're going to just have that in a written down form. So when we come in next week, you guys can be able to just read through those and we can all just jump in, start making calls. All right. Thank you, Tracy. Now, you want to ask if they can send you certain pieces of information. The OM, super, super important. But not as important as the T12 and the rent rolls. If someone doesn't have an OM, but they have T12s and rent rolls, that is a great day. We're good to go. All right. You want to ask. This is for all my underwriters. I know when I say this next sentence, they're going to be dancing like, yes, this is what I want. Ask if there's any assumable debt or if there's owner financing available. Super, super important. All right. And then also you want to be able to ask, is there a date set to be able to walk the property? And now this is part of the building relationships, right? Do you have any other similar properties? You'd be surprised. A lot of these brokers are getting deals that they do have available, and they will gladly share it with you, but only if you ask. They might ask you, well, where are you looking to buy? And if you don't know where you're looking to buy, find out from one of us, find out from the chat, find out from the Multifamily Freedom Chasers where exactly we are looking for deals. That's how you answer that question, right? And if you don't have the answer, you say, let me find out, because I know they changed a couple of things. I'm not sure exactly where they last left off as far as where they're looking for deals, but I can send that over to you. Why? What do you currently have? Right? All we're doing is gathering information, right? And then here's 4 questions I like to ask. I like to ask brokers, hey, are you currently investing in the multifamily yourself? Right? Are you looking to buy any multifamily yourself? What do you do? Like, what's your specialty when it comes to multifamily? And hey, how can I bring value to you? Like, you've been such a big help. What can I do to give you some value? Is there anything that I can do? Maybe an introduction that you're looking for, right? Even if the answer is they had nothing you can help them with, just the fact that you are willing to do so was a big deal, right? And this right here, this is something I took from the chat last week. If somebody says, how do you deal with this as far as like, you're questioning your credibility? Just let them know, hey, I'm new, I don't have track record or funds. What do you recommend I say to brokers to take me serious? That was a question. I am looking to bird dog a deal for a team to get my foot through the door in this space. So guys, there's really there's no reason why you should be afraid, right? Like, Laura, now that we've kind of gone through this, do you feel a little bit more comfortable? Like, I know you're not like, oh, this is let's go. Why is he still talking? I know that's not the attitude, right? But are you a little bit more like, okay, see how this can make sense?
Definitely.
Okay, good. Because if not, we would. I don't care about the other 32 people on here. We would do this all over again, just so I can make sure you are comfortable.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I guess my one hang up was with what's your background, what's your experience?
Yeah.
Which you kind of pointed out right there at the end.
Good. And you're not alone with that, right? For example, anybody that's watching, whether you're watching on live stream or on the chat, put a 1 if you also had that same issue, either right now that just got solved, or even in the beginning, right? Like you were afraid that somebody might question your credibility. You see that, Laura? You're not alone, right? This is something we all kind of gone through, right? Because it's like, this is new, right? And I don't want to get laughed at, be looked at a fool, right? And so you won't, because we got your back. And if anybody laughs at you, we will find where they live at, and all 33 of us will go beat them up. Okay. All right. So let's do this. So where do we find deals? Can anybody in the chat let me know what's some good places to find deals? We're going to do this collectively right now as a group. We're going to find some brokers. All right. I see LoopNet is one of them. Okay. Crixie is another one. What else? Where else? PropStream is another one. There's so many, guys. Driving around. It's funny you said that. I was talking to one of my partners on a team this morning, and I was like, hey, where you at right now? He was like, I'm driving for dollars for multifamily. So yes, driving around is definitely. Need off market, but don't know how. Off market is really good. You can get off market by going to PropStream. That's a really good place to look for off-market properties, or any program that's like PropStream. You can also, Jeremiah, I believe, said it as well. Talk to agents, especially those that you already have relationships with. It's the best way to do it. Delinquent taxes. Privy. I missed that episode that they did the search with Privy, but you can do the same thing on Privy as well. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through LoopNet. All right, everybody, give me a state. We need a state or location. We're gonna go looking for deals. Apartment.com. Yes, apartmentbuildings.com. Actually, let's put that up too. Apartmentbuildings.com. All right, so we'll use LoopNet and we'll use apartmentbuilding.com so we can get 2 good viewpoints. This is gonna be fun. All right, so far we got Philly, Texas, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Nashville, Georgia, California. Are you looking to buy properties in California? Who wrote is this? Who wrote that?
I hope not. I'll warn you guys now. I hope not.
Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi, no, it's just for practice purposes.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I was like, we need to have another Zoom call where we can go over some detail. Okay, perfect.
What would be funny if you guys called me?
Perfect.
I'm a realtor in California as well, so.
Let's do. I mean, hey, why not? Let's do that. Let's look up California. We're looking for a broker. Now, I've never used this site before, so this is gonna be a cool one to use. But we'll also use LoopNet for those of you who just like. This is my jam right here. I love LoopNet. Get deals all day. All right, so here we go. This is California. Now, I personally, I like to look for deals that are 40 units and up. Okay. Does that mean anything under 40 units is a bad deal? No. But I am working with a team and I want to make sure that whatever we look at has a bunch of equity and everything in place to feed the whole team. So that's why I look at 40 units and up. So the more it gives us more opportunity to make more money, essentially. Okay. I'm also going to put this in the chat for you guys. This is a bunch of different places where you can also find deals. All right. Now, when it comes to, Deidre said, how's New York looking? New York is good. It has its own plus and minuses. It's very expensive, but people do deals there all day, every day. So you just gotta find out if that's your cup of tea. All right. So, all right, Laura. So here's what we're gonna do. Yes, very not very landlord friendly at all. But again, people do business there. Why? Not quite sure, but they do business there. All right, so now we're gonna go and we're gonna pull this up as well on this website. So we'll search for California. Now, I've never used this site before, so I'm interested to kind of see how it portrays. So these are actually just brokers that's affiliated with this site, from what I can tell. So let's go to for sale because we wanna call about a particular property. In my honest opinion, you don't want to call a broker just to shoot the shit with a broker. They view that as very disrespectful because their time is important and your time is important, right? So if you're gonna call with the pretense about a particular deal, and then afterwards we can build the relationship, right? But again, we don't care, right? So this deal right here, I don't care too much about it because I'm never gonna buy in California. I'll never say never, but there's a strong like possibility that I would never buy in California. All right, so let's look for, okay, here's 40 units. So I like this one. So let's see what happens now. So what I don't necessarily want to do is call the broker to get a bunch of information that is on the website itself. So the website link, view broker details, submit LOI. All right, so let's sign up. Hold on. I'm gonna sign up off screen so you guys don't be trying to get into my password here. All right, agree, join. Okay, looks like we are in there. Like swimwear, here's the 40 units I think we were looking at. All right, so say it again.
I was just gonna say real quick. Before you're making phone calls, it's also keep in mind, think of questions or like questions you've heard other people say that they got stuck on in the past or things we mentioned here. And if there's anything you can prepare an answer for, don't make it sound robotic. Just make it like, hey, I have an idea. If I get past X, Y, and Z, I know kind of what I'm gonna say. You know, you don't want to script it. You don't want to feel robotic, but like it sounds like, oh, what is your buy box? You don't have to be exact to the T. Be enough idea where they're like, okay, we'll keep you in mind for that now, because that's how the relationship building starts. Is they're gonna ask you what the buy box is if this property doesn't work out, and then they're gonna want to send you more stuff, and that's how you build that relationship, is through more communication.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I totally did not go back and activate this thing. So, all right. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Making me do a bunch of extra work here. All right, so while we're doing that, let's jump into LoopNet. All right, so we want to reach out and call this broker. Ed, if you can you go to that website? It's making me do like a whole user profile and everything. Could you just barrel through all of that stuff and then get us the contact information for one of the brokers that was on that property, that 40 unit?
For apartment building?
Yeah, apartmentbuildings.com.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our property. Here's the guy, Bill. Now, I like to pay attention to what's listed here so I can either find questions I want to ask, like Ed was just saying, questions that I want to ask about this one, or if there's something that's purposely not in here, I can ask questions on, right? So it's 24 units, Class A, well maintained, right? So I really want to know what that means. It's completed in 2008, so well maintained. So I would want to know, when was the last upgrades done, right? 2008 is 2023. So what does well maintained mean? That's relative, right? If it was updated maybe 5 years ago and it's well maintained, that's way better shape than upgraded 10 years ago and now it's well maintained, right? So that's a question. So off the bat, I'm writing this down. Okay. What does well maintained mean? All right, we'll take a look at that one too. All right, now fully occupied, excellent market rents, year one, pro forma. Okay. This is about the amenities and stuff, location. All right, boom, boom. All right, so now I would come down, and here they left me an attachment. So let's open that up. And these are just other links.
While you're on that page,
yeah,
scroll to the bottom. Here's a little trick as well for anyone that wasn't familiar with this on LoopNet. You can see the date the listing was created and updated, which is very important because one, you want to know how long it's been sitting there, and two, you also want to know, it's like, okay, I know the last time they updated this page was December 27th. It's a good way to be like, hey, I'm paying attention. Has anything changed since then? Maybe it hasn't if you got to update it. You know?
So let's put that down as the next question. So Laura, the next question that you want to write down is, hey, I noticed this deal was first listed back in October, and I know you've been making some updates to it. Has there anything that's been changed since the 27th of last month? Now, another key reason, this is a really beautiful place, by the way. Another key reason why that's an important thing is because this cash flow summary that they uploaded, we're going to look at it right now. And I actually want to see. Okay, so they just put T6. Remember, we talked about this last week. The T12s, and if you want to get more updated stuff, you get like a T6 or a T3. Now this is a T6, but I don't know when are they counting. When does it start? Right? Like they don't have any months here. So and why do they do this? Is so that they can work less. Right? If they put this was 9 months ago and it says T6, then they know I'm gonna want the last 3 months, right? And Virginia just added something, right? So this is supposed to be for a 332 unit apartment building, right? So why is the cash flow showing figures for a 16 unit portfolio? Is the 332 divided into 16 buildings? So that's another question that you want to ask about. Right, Laura? Say, hey, I noticed on the cash flow summary, it was for a 16 unit, but I was asking about the 332 unit apartment building. Is it just the wrong file? Sometimes it's the wrong, they have assistants and, people make mistakes. So sometimes it is a mistake. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a game that's being played. They want to see, let's put some fillers out here and see who's willing to make an offer. But I will tell you this one. How many people here have heard the phrase LoopNet is where deals go to die? Put a 2 in the chat if you heard that before. Right? Everybody's kind of heard that. I remember when I first got started, it was like, oh, LoopNet's where deals go to die. Ew, yuck. I'll never look at a deal on yuck, ew. And then one of my friends got an amazing deal on LoopNet. And it was like, well, damn, I thought that's where deals go to die. So here's the thing. Here's how you got to look at it. LoopNet is a place that people say that's where deals go to die only because by the time it gets to LoopNet, everyone who's serious about multifamily has already seen it and passed on it. Okay? It doesn't mean it's a bad deal. It means it's a bad deal at the current way that it is being offered. Okay? And so what needs to be done is you have to be able to come with a different point of view in order to be able to, make something happen, to make the deal actually work. All right, that's all that means. Okay, so so far, Laura, we got 2 or 3 extra questions. What questions do we have so far?
When you say maintained, when were the last upgrades done? And then I added one to that was if they have an in-house that does their HVAC servicing, or I don't know if that's too detailed right now, or if they have to hire out servicing for equipment like that.
Yeah, so I don't think that's too deep, but what I would do is when you're asking questions, help guide the conversation, right? So if you start asking an HVAC question, then make sure you put all your condition questions in that same, like right after another. Oh, okay. So what about the swimming pool? I know there's a swimming pool. How's the care for that? Do you know any details? And they may not know, right? And she'll be like, okay, could you connect me with the property management company so I can ask some questions about that? Because they would be the ones that's on the day-to-day, they know a lot more than the broker would know about smaller things like that.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, you just want to guide it so that the broker doesn't get flustered trying to answer questions and he has to think or she has to think in different ways, right? Make it easier for them. Should you have to make it easier for them? No, but they'll like you more, right? So that at the end of the day, that's the goal, building relationships.
And then was mentioned how it was first listed in October and then last updated on the 27th of December, and wondering if there were any changes since then.
Yes. Now, one of the changes, and man, we got a really sharp group. So one of the changes, I hope I don't mispronounce your name, but Natasha said, it says it's fully occupied, but we need a better occupancy rate for today, because the last time this was updated, right, was back in December. So, I mean, how many people we know come January, it's time to move out. So we don't know for sure if it's 100% occupied, right? And we also don't know for sure, like, okay, that was January. We're midway point now. Do we have anybody getting ready to leave come February? Like, those are questions I want to be able to get a better insight on. So very good point on there. Now, there's another good point Virginia just mentioned as well, and I saw that when we scrolled up, right? If you look right here. Okay, so this is one of the questions that you should add. It's not currently on there, but you could ask this as well. Like, hey, are there any value add that's available? And here you see it said value addition opportunity. Example, renovate unit lease for 25% higher. Okay, so this is giving me a little bit more insight to this well-maintained, I don't want to hurt, nobody's feelings wording that they have going here. Are you saying all these units need to be updated? Like, what needs to be renovated to be able to charge 25% higher? And that also makes me feel like, okay, well, if I need to charge 25% higher, does that mean currently right now this property is getting like market rent is 25? Is that the norm, or would I be setting the tone at that point? You see what I'm saying? Like, these are things that are getting me to get a little bit more understanding about the position that this particular property is in. And I can ask questions about that for clarification. Does that make sense, Laura?
Yep.
Okay. And then here it said there's a 36 unit portfolio also available. So now I'm thoroughly confused. All right. I'm calling about a property that has 332 units. You showed me cash flow summary for 16 units, but then you're also talking about a 36. If you guys ever seen Martin, remember Bro Man from the fifth floor was always selling something, and like when he opened up his jacket, he just always had like random stuff to sell. Like, this is what I feel like this broker is doing right now. Like, I'm calling about one particular deal, but he's like, I also got these two other things at the same time. Like, I don't know if he's trying to save on cost. Maybe that's what we're doing, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But we talked to Bill and kind of asked him those questions. So, Laura, here's what I want to do, because I definitely want to throw you in the fire. And here's the thing: we're doing all this, and Bill might not even pick up. Right? Bill might be in front of the grill right now, waiting on these hot dogs and all this other type of stuff. So, yes, how many units we need renovation? So here's what we're gonna do. What I want to do is I want to get one other person from the chat. So let's see, how should I do this? Okay, I need one volunteer. Could be anybody. Just raise your hand if you're willing to volunteer. And if you don't volunteer, we're gonna just call on you. And if you don't respond, okay, Michelle. Okay, thank you, Michelle, because the threats were coming. I had them lined up, right? It's gonna get worse and worse. So here's the thing: I need your screens, though. I got to be able to see you guys. And I'll tell you guys deep down, the reason why I need to see you is because once upon a time I was baited. I got catfished. I was dating this girl for like 6 months, and it was via Zoom. And I never really saw her face, because every time I would actually like turn on the camera, it was always like, oh, I'm out, or oh, I don't, whatever. and come to find out it wasn't a girl at all. So that really, I'm lying. That's not what happened. I just really want to see your faces. So if you guys can, Laura's good. Michelle, are you able to show your screen? Not your screen, but your face, or no? Michelle. Oh, her camera don't work. That, Michelle, I'm not saying I don't believe you. It just sounds so convenient now that I just said that story, right? All right, Michelle. I appreciate your ministry anyway. Can I have another volunteer? Can we get another volunteer? All right, let's go, Alicia. Oh, we got a whole bunch. Okay, hold on. Let's see. All right, Miss Simmons, let's do it. All right, mute yourself for me, please.
Hi.
Awesome. How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm amazing. Amazing.
All right.
So here's what I want to do. So I want you to be a broker, and I want Laura to role play with you. She's gonna practice role playing with you. She's gonna get the kinks out, right? She's gonna do the standard third. And in the meanwhile, this is how we're gonna make this thing work. In the meanwhile, Ed, could you help me out? Could you give Bill a call? And I want you to call Bill and be like, hey, Bill, this is Ed, just giving you a quick call. I'm calling because I wanted to see if you're going to be available in the next 10 to 15 minutes. My partner, Laura, was looking at this property and she wants to give you a call and ask you questions about it. So we're going to try to set an actual appointment. All right. All right. So let's do that. And Ed, once you do that, just let me know in the chat. And we can set it for 15 minutes. So 3:15 Eastern time is the time frame we're going to try and make this scheduled call. All right. Let's do it. So
Cecily? Is that how you say your name?
It is Cecily, like sesame seed, but that's pretty close. Also, I am from Sicily.
All right. You guys are ready? Let's do it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Cecily?
Yeah, this is she.
Hi, this is Laura Johnson. I'm calling about a property I saw you list on LoopNet.
Yes. How can I help you?
It's the Golden Valley Luxury Apartments. It says it's 332 unit apartment building units available.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Some of the questions I had were when I was looking at your investment highlights in the executive summary, I was wondering if you could just clarify a couple things for me. Does that sound like now's a good time to do that?
Yeah, this is a good time.
Okay, great. I guess my first question is it explains the units as Class A, and that there is an opportunity for value add, and
yes.
then it also mentions well maintained. So I was wondering if you could tell me when the last upgrades were made.
That particular property, the last upgrades were made. It's in really good shape. So I think that the last upgrades were made within the last 6 months. I may need to verify that for you or clarify that for you.
Okay. Can you tell me what the upgrades included?
Like I said, I'm going to need to get back to you on that. I know that they did do some tidying up to the property. I can get some more information on that for you and get back to you at a later date, though.
Okay, that sounds great. I see that this listing was first available in October of last year, and then you had last updated information regarding it December 27th. Have there been any changes to that?
No, there haven't been any changes. But like I said, if you want to get some more detail on this, I'd be happy to email something over to you at another time.
Okay, do you by chance have the most current T3 or T6?
Yes. Do you by chance have a proof of funds?
I can get you one. Do you have an email address I can send that to?
Sure. It's located on the website, but I can go ahead and give that to you. It's blah, 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 blah.
Okay, great. I guess I have one more question, and that is, do you by chance know anything about the occupancy rate as of today, or when the lease up is for some of those units?
So we're fully occupied right now. Like, this is a really hot property. I don't know if you were able to take a look at that information that's listed. But I'd be happy to forward any other information over to you via email. Where can I send that to you?
You can send it to blah, blah, blah. And is this for 332 units, or is it a different size of units that is that Golden Valley luxury apartment?
It's 332 units. Is there some, where did the number 4 come from? I'm confused.
Oh, in the executive summary, it says there's 24 units available that are Class A, and then a little further down it says that there's a 36 unit portfolio also available, but you have an attachment for 16 unit cash flow, and I just was trying to figure out that.
Sounds like there may be a discrepancy. Thank you for pointing that out. I will have my assistant change that, because that's actually not reflecting that it is a 332 unit. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I will have that changed. Is there anything else that I can help you with?
I don't believe at this point, but thank you for your time today, and I'll look forward to getting those emails from you.
Okay, Laura. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's give it up for Laura real quick, one time on a one time. That was good.
Scratch notes, I'm just, okay.
That was really good. Let's get some feedback from the group. Actually, I want to kind of see everybody's thoughts. I only had one thing. Outside that, I thought you did good. I also want to give it up for Miss Simmons, because I don't know if did you want to be a broker growing up or something? Because like you really like embodied that whole thing. That was great.
Probably. I wanted to be a lot of different things growing up, but mostly I just want to get better at this whole process. So thanks for adding me in. I am gearing up to be making calls as well. My computer's on the fritz, so I can't call Envy on Zoom, but I just wanted to be active, be proactive, and participate. So good job, Laura.
Good. Let's hear from Billionaire Pete, because you know this is what he do. You know what I mean? So I'm really interested to see how he felt about it.
Well, so my first question is, Cecily, have you made any calls yet?
I've made like 2 or 3 calls. I have not made enough yet, and I'm actively putting together my list. I'm trying to do like 10 a day. But yeah, I'll have some for next week. That's my goal.
Awesome. Well, the reason I asked that is I'm wondering, has anyone asked you for proof of funds?
Not for multifamily. For cold calling, for single family, yes. And I was watching some of the other calls, so that's why I asked that.
All right, I asked you that only because you seem to enjoy it too much asking.
You saw that, right? She was like,
it really puts the person on the
just
spot.
waiting for the right time to bring that up.
I like it. Laura's like, I'll just send it to you. What do you need?
Yes.
I'm not worried about nothing.
That was perfect.
Yeah, I was taking notes on the other broker calls, so I threw that out there because I was trying to memorize what my response would be to that objection.
It's probably not a bad strategy. Just say, yeah, I'll send that right over, and then just keep asking your questions, right? Yeah. Because at that point, you've ended that conversation.
So check this out real quick, right? Laura was able to do that because, and this is not to take anything away from her, but she didn't know no better. Right. So she was like, what you need? Okay, yeah, sure. I'll get that to you. Right. And just kept moving. But those of us that are more experienced, we're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to hang up and now I need to go find proof of funds. So you don't need that. Right. And Tracy said something, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get required proof of funds and all this other stuff when you get somebody that's resending you something. All right. When you're talking directly to the broker, I mean, Peter, how many times have you been asked proof of funds for a multifamily deal?
Zero. Nobody's asked. I think the key is just trying to talk to them with a high level of confidence, right? One thing what I like to do, I learned this from Marcel, is I just start off, I have the list of questions, right? I've probably asked all the questions you've asked, but I don't tend to get into the weeds, especially on a first conversation, right? I don't need any of those details until I get the basic information so I can do my napkin underwrite and I can decide, do I need to invest any more time on this property? Until we know, if we find out just based on the numbers that they're trying to sell this property to 3.5 cap, I'm out. I can't, there's no way for me to buy this or more than likely no way for me to buy this property, right? So I definitely try to keep it at a high level. And the first question I ask is, once I say, is the property still available? Great. What's the story behind this property? That's it. And I might add to that, why are they, it's the same question, but why are they looking to sell? And many times when I just ask that and shut up and let the broker talk, I get all of these questions answered. They tell me everything I want to know. They tell me what the guidance price is. They don't necessarily, they might tell me there's a call for offer date next Wednesday, whatever. But there's really only 3 things I'm looking for on this phone call, and I often already have one because I saw the thing online. T12, rent roll, and the OM, the offering memorandum. And again, the offering memorandum half the time is online with the properties I'm looking at. So if they'll send me the T12 and the rent roll, I can look at the numbers real quick and decide, does it make sense to go any further? Beyond that, I'm focused on those 2 things. I'm focused on, is there assumable debt? And are they open to seller financing? And that first phone call, I don't want to be on the phone with them for a long time. I want to make it super quick. I want them to know I'm serious. This is what I'm after, and move on, right? The more questions you ask about little nitty gritty stuff, the more you can get kind of trapped, and they can see that maybe you're new, and that's when they're going to tend to ask you, well, can you send me proof of funds, right? And my response to that in that particular conversation would be, well, I need to get enough information to know if this is a deal I'm even interested in pursuing, right? Without some basic financial information, it's not going to make any sense for me to show proof of funds. When we get further down the line, it's like, well, we're looking at a $20 million deal. I don't happen to have $10 million in cash sitting in a bank account. We have, private lenders behind us. This money's going to come from multiple different places. We need to get further down the road to see if it makes sense for us to pursue this deal. So that's how I typically handle that objection. But I'd love to hear from anybody else. Well, Laura, I'd love to hear from you. Is this helpful to you? Does it give you, how do you feel after doing this?
Definitely felt like it was my first time.
Thank you.
But what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I need to remember that, I'm interviewing them for the property.
Exactly.
They want my money. Well, not really my money, but our money.
Yep.
So that takes a little bit of pressure off thinking about it in those terms. But like you said, I wasn't quite sure how many details to go into. And like you said, maybe that's better for a different call after you even decide if it's worth your time or not.
Yeah, you're not going to need nitty-gritty details on the first one. Your target is to get the basic financials as quickly as you possibly can. Get the story behind the property so you can start to understand some seller motivations and whatnot, and find out about the debt. If you get those things, you've had a successful call. What I will tell you that I want you to take away as very much a positive is, regardless of what you were asking, you were very confident, right?
Mhm.
You weren't hesitant. You sounded very natural. So from that perspective, you're great. You're gonna do fine on these calls.
Yep.
And guess what? Even when you don't know exactly what to ask, it's okay, right?
Mhm.
They don't know exactly what you need to know at this point, other than the basic financial information. So it's hard to mess these things up. Just speak to them. I don't know how to. Ed, I love what you said earlier. You personally haven't met anybody in this room, right? As I'm looking through this list, there's only one person on this call that I've ever met face to face. And I've had conversations with a number of the people on this call. And I know things about some of your children. And I've had one-on-one conversations with several of you, but we haven't met face to face, right? Not yet. So that's a point well taken, right? Just because you don't know these people, it just run with it, right? They don't know you either. So they're not necessarily making any assumptions about you. Make it short and to the point. Get to the issue at hand. Get the story behind the property. Get the basics on the numbers and the debt, and move on. And these guys will call you back. I unfortunately I didn't get anybody on the phone today. I left several messages. Sometimes I like to come in and do one of those on the call, but you guys were going over some good stuff. I was listening in the background. I just wanted to let you guys run with that. There wasn't any point. If you want to hear me leave a message, go back and listen to some of the old calls. There's plenty of messages being left on the old calls. But what I think is happening today, I'm getting the sense that all the kids are out of school, so everybody's off with their kids today. Nobody's answering their phones. Now, this happens on regular days too, right? Brokers historically, notoriously, are not particularly good at answering the phone. So you're going to have to make a lot of calls to get these on the phone, or get these guys on the phone, these guys and girls, but leave those messages. A lot of them won't call you back, and you'll have to follow up, but some of them will call you back. So that's my feedback for you, Laura. I hope you found this helpful. Even you, Cecily, as the broker, I just, having the conversations, I think it makes it more real. It makes it just easier to repeat, right? Just pick up the phone, call these people, record them if you want to. I wouldn't, if you haven't asked the permission, I guess I wouldn't necessarily post it on the internet, although we do that every week. Hopefully that doesn't ever become a problem. Record it, come in, we could play it back. We could, listen to it with you on the call, critique it right here on the call. I'd love to get feedback from the group. So anyway, we can do more role plays as we go forward. I think that's very helpful for people, but definitely do your research during the week. Go ahead and make those phone calls, but also come in next Monday with a list of numbers, with a list of names, and be prepared to call. I think that's very helpful. That'll help us get a lot more value out of these calls. So
we actually do have some calls that are getting sent to us that we will be doing next week, where we're going to be reviewing a call. So that's going to be great when we first start off. We'll review a call and just kind of give feedback. We'll do role playing, and then we'll start calling on dollars. Because now we're not going to have to go over like the preliminaries like we did today. That just be documented. You can just kind of see it and you're good to go. So that's something that's exciting to be able to go after. Tracy, I see you have your hand up, so I'll let you unmute as well. Come on up, talk to us. I like your background, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that. I like how like this new world that we're in now, where it's like, oh yeah, this is how you reach out to me. Like everybody does that. All right. So what do you got for us, Tracy?
So my question is, when you're trying to build relationships with your brokers, do you wait until your follow-up call when you tell them whether the deal worked for you or didn't work with you to call them back and tell them what your actual criteria is?
I'm building relationship on day one. And now relationship on call one. Relationship doesn't necessarily mean here's my buy box. Because that's not, believe it or not, that's not the part where you build relationships. Most brokers, okay, if they're good at what they do, they've gotten to the point where they understand not every dollar is a good dollar, right? So what do I mean by that? They understand they would much rather do a deal for less money if it means less headache. So they are really like making sure they pay attention to whose deal they're working on and who they're working with, as opposed to, oh, this, because, you know, brokers make some pretty decent, I mean, think about it, they're getting paid a very small percentage for $100 million deals. I mean, that equals a lot, even after taxes, unless you live in California, which at that point, I don't know why you're still there, right? So, but the point is, right? The point is they oftentimes are not in a position where they need to do a deal for money. This is kind of just like adding money on. And so they really are picking and choosing what deal that they go with. So I don't wait till that point to start building a relationship. I try to get them to kind of like me a little bit more in the beginning. So for example, Lauren, in your call, you did everything great. And I love your I think it's your natural tonality, right? It's very like, it's pleasant, right? Like I wouldn't mind being on the phone with you. You're not annoying me, or you don't sound aggressive. You don't sound too meek either. Like you just sound great, right? I would try to kind of be like, you know, well, tell me what you got going on today. Are you cooking? Did I stop you? Do you have a burger in your hand right now? Did I mess you guys up with what you got? Like something about your personality to stand out from everybody else that might be calling, but then also so that it already speeds up the process of the relationship. Because now I can call back to something we discussed. Hey, what's going on, Bill? This is Eddie. I don't know if you remember. I'm the rude guy that stopped you from eating the burger last week on the holiday. Do you remember me yet? Yeah. All right, cool. You're not eating again, are you? Because that would be extremely just weird that I keep calling you between dinner, right? Like just anything to kind of draw back to two things. One, how do I make this person like me, right? How do you end up liking somebody? You either make them smile or you relate to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I'm trying to get to that stage as soon as possible, as quick as I can. And then the other thing is, Peter, do you have a call? If you have a call, Peter, wave at me. All right. And the other thing. Okay, he does have a call.
They're really not even that. Man, 89% occupied. All the 80 units, and then the 30 units, they're 100% occupied. But you know, I just think there's just probably some difference in what a new investor would do with management versus what they're currently doing there.
Right.
I don't think they're novel on tenants, and I know they have a lot of long-term tenants that's been there over 5 years.
Okay.
So I think there's just no debt. Hey, just kept collecting the paycheck each month. We like the cash flow and you try to sit as best you can. You have to collect the monthly rent, and you don't need to push the envelope on the time. So that's kind of the mindset they're currently having. And, you know, of course, someone else going in there. You know, and I don't really know LREI that well. You know, I'm unsure if they're a great management company. Louisville, been working in Kentucky for 6 years, and I haven't heard a ton of their name. So, you know, that may be another thing as well. With maybe just getting a better property management company there.
Gotcha. Do you have a sense of how far below market they might be currently?
$150 plus or minus.
$150. And do you think that's based on as is condition, or you got to dump the 3,500 in to get that 150?
It's like a combination of different things. Like there's competing properties in the area that charge a rub of water, sewer, and gas. They're currently not doing that. They're only charging electric and tenants charging. And then, going in there, and I think if you did a light upgrade, I think yes, I think going in there doing the light upgrade and then doing a combination of management things such as charging or rugs would get you to that 150.
Gotcha. Okay. And are there any? I looked at one. I don't think there's a couple I've looked at today, so I'm confusing myself. One was marketed as no amenities. That wasn't this one. Are there any amenities at any of these locations?
Not that I know. I mean, the only amenity would be a common area laundry room, which some have, some don't.
Okay. All right.
Some with our connections, some don't.
Gotcha. Okay. And is that, how many different locations are you talking about?
3 or 5. Like 5 apartment locations. And houses are all pretty much on a couple streets, all in the same neighborhood.
Okay. How many houses were there again? 19?
19.
19 houses. Okay. All right. That sounds good. And you emailed me all that information you said?
Just emailed you, yep.
Perfect. All right. We'll take a look at that. Might definitely be, I love the fact that it's obviously the other question was are they open to owner financing?
They declined with past 300 financing offers that sent them.
Okay.
But, if it's like a 10 or 15%, seller second, I think that would be more, for them to be inclined to hold any paper would be less.
Okay.
But they've been declining. Once they've been asking me like 50%, which,
yeah,
I just don't want to do that.
They don't want to carry 50%. Understood.
I'm not even sure money. I mean, that might be an option, if it's,
Sure.
At their price, right? And more money to.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's all part of it, right? What's the balance there? Are they are they willing to offer some terms if they get their price? Are they willing to flex on their price at all, or are they pretty firm on their price?
Yeah, I think there's room there for price.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great. Let's. And you said how many offers have you had with seller financing terms?
Probably 6 around there.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And what's the least amount of seller financing someone has offered?
I want to say like 35%.
Okay, so we've tested the line at 35, and the answer is no. Gotcha. All right. Obviously that often makes the deal more attractive if we can keep the previous owner as a partner, basically, right? Not looking for any other help. Totally hands off, but we need always. Everybody in this business is always looking for more private lenders, right? No better way to get a private lender than from your seller. So, anyway, I really appreciate the information. I appreciate the call back, especially when you're under the weather. You're calling. I think I called you on a Kentucky number. You're calling me from a Tennessee.
Yeah, this is my cell phone number. I'm actually based in Nashville.
You are in Nashville. Okay. Gotcha.
It's a little more of the 502 area code.
Okay. Do you work in Tennessee at all?
Correct, in Nashville.
Do you have opportunities in the Tennessee area?
So our brokerage firm operates for state and team oriented. So I just covered for Kentucky.
Okay.
So I am licensed. We have a team that does Tennessee. Yes, we do have Tennessee listing. I'm just not the representative.
You're not the guy. I got you. Do you deal with many off-market properties?
In Kentucky, yeah.
Okay. Definitely interested in what you have off-market multifamily in Kentucky.
Okay. Do you happen to have a website or anything that kind of gives details of what your criteria is?
Yeah, so I actually, I'm not sure if we have that on the website yet, because we're building a brand new website currently, but I will send you our buy box in an email.
Okay.
And if you can email me anything off market you think we might be interested in, please do. We're looking for more. My underwriters are chomping at the bit to look at more deals and submit more LOIs. So love to do some business with you.
Sounds good. I'm happy to send you a couple more deals I've got.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Hey, you feel better.
I appreciate it, Peter. Have a good rest of your day.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, put some fires in the chat for billionaire Pete himself. Was that not amazing call? Like, did he not break that call down? So the guy is so smooth. I don't think he knows how smooth he is. Like, I think if we were to put a mirror up to him and he saw exactly how good he looks compared to James Bond, I think that's the only time he would be like, oh, wow, okay, yeah. No, dude, you killed it. You killed it. You killed it. You hit everything, right? You connected with him. You spoke about something other than the deal, right? You open up the door for more opportunities, right? You were speaking to him about him and hope he feels better. If 10,000 people calls him between now and the next time you speak to him, you hit so many points where he'll easily remember this conversation. And that's how you build relationships. Like Tracy and I was just talking about this, and now the call that you had proved that example. So Tracy, that's how you do it, right? Don't wait till the second or third call. On the first call, you can do it as long as you're able to have the conversation. You know what I mean?
So, Eddie, I appreciate all the kind words and everything, but we're at an hour and a half. I want to keep these things to the time frame. I know you got some other things, a couple things you wanted to say and cover, but real quick, for those that are still with us, again, folks, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for taking advantage of this ecosystem. Keep coming back. Follow Multifamily Freedom Chasers on Facebook. I want to hear from some of you guys. I want to hear, is that helpful for you to hear that conversation? How does that help you, and what are you going to do with that feeling, that knowledge this week?
Yes, that'd be amazing. Hold on, let me stop sharing my screen. And let's get some of that feedback
for us. Oh man, we're gonna have to call on somebody again, Eddie. There we go. Jeremiah, you were gonna get called on anyway if you didn't.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were coming to me, Pete.
I was looking right at you.
Yeah, I felt that. It was like your Jedi mind trick started playing off.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just like I texted you last night during the call. You know, it's just the context, I think, just around it too. You know, I think we to speak for myself here, having just started making broker calls myself in the last 2 weeks, you kind of feel like you're in this box and there's this script and there's this anxiety, and you break just hearing you breaks all that down. You know, we can talk through it, but hearing you do it live just breaks all that down and brings a level of comfort, I guess, and confidence. And I had and as a result of that, Peter, I'd like to just kind of give this recognition to you. Last week, my very first broker call was to a pretty active broker up in Nashville. And I was super nervous, you know, I didn't want to make any mistakes or say the wrong thing, right? And so I was like, well, hell, let me just go for it here. And anyhow, he sent me an email later that day. It was I did a follow-up email, but he sent me a response email. And he was like, started out with great conversation today. He's like, in fact, I went home and told my wife I spoke with 100 people today, but this guy Jeremiah from Alabama was refreshing. And I thought, well, that's a nice feel-good moment for a very first broker call out of the gate. But I attribute that to being on these calls and listening to you, Peter. You just your style, your approach is just very tacky and solid. And so, thank you, Peter, Eddie. thank you so much as well, man. You guys are just putting a great thing together here, and you're helping guys and girls like those on the call.
Man, love that. Love that. Congratulations, bro. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Good deal. Keep it going. Call it again. Pick up that phone.
Yeah, especially when you're on a high like that. All right. And
Michelle.
anybody else? Michelle coming through. Come through, Michelle.
All right, I have to see. You know I'm on my phone. Yeah, yo, Peter, that was awesome. And like, you was like real smooth about how you just transitioned from the website. And we actually, do you have a website? Like sometimes they do that, and I was like I don't have a website, you know. And like you just showed me how to transition from that, and then you were so impressionable on him that he remembered your name at the end of the conversation, and he made sure to say your name.
And I'm glad you brought that up. And I didn't say his name because I called 3 different brokers on that deal, and I think that was John, but I couldn't remember. So I didn't say the wrong name, and I know he emailed me, so I know I can call him back with his name. But I'm pretty sure that was John, but I was so, and that's a great point, right? You really want to focus on their name because you want to use their name, you want to repeat it. I did not do that, so, but that was intentional because I couldn't remember which guy called me back. And he didn't call me from the number that I called him on, so I couldn't use the phone number to tie it back to the 3 people I had called. So anyway.
Yeah, you did say that, right? It was good, thank you. Like I like being on the calls, you know, because I get so much out of it. And you know, like I'm new to like calling the brokers, but I'll be calling and you know, you just help me. Like I always get something from every time I show up, whether I show up late, but every time I show up, I always get something from the call. Always.
Good.
Awesome.
Good to hear.
That's why we're doing it, guys. We're just trying to encourage everybody to pick up the phone and make those calls. Tracy, you're still on top of my screen here. How is this impacting you? Is this helpful to you?
Yeah, I need to revise my broker script again. Right now it's set up. I have like one that's very basic for when I call on a property and one that's literally just reaching out to give them my buying criteria and ask if they have anything. So I'm going to revise that this week.
Awesome.
Now, Tracy, listen, I'm going to tell you, I heard what you said, but it should take you less than 15 minutes to revise it. Because I heard you say, I'm going to revise it this week, and I'm going to attribute that to you saying, okay, you know what, Thursday I got 15 extra free minutes, and I'm going to take that time to do that. But I do not want you spending the whole week revising this thing, right?
No, it doesn't take that long. I got it.
All right, good. Because you know what, Tracy, I'm going to put you down. You're going to be the first person I call next week to hear this script. All right, make sure it's comfortable. And also, again, guys, if you have, calls that you're making, record them, send it over to us, and we'll give you the feedback. We'll tell you, hey, here's what you should do next time, or here's how you should call back to kind of push this forward, and it'll be a great learning lesson for everybody. We are at our max time, but Laura, your hand is still up, so I'm going to pick on you because I'm assuming your hand is still up because you want to give a testimonial, right? Isn't that why it's still up? Okay, there you go.
I don't know how to put my hand back down. This has been great. Like, I hadn't even heard a multi-family call yet. I've heard a couple, very few single family ones that Pace does in the Zoom Vault. But I was like, I have no idea how to talk to a broker. I've never even heard anybody talk to a broker. So this really helped and gave me a ton of confidence moving forward. So
awesome.
Thank you guys.
Good. Glad you guys.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it. We do these calls every week, nonstop. If you guys enjoyed it, please do me a favor. Oh, you know what? I want to do something that I saw.
You gotta let Ed have the final word.
Oh, I didn't even see Ed. My bad. I didn't even see you there, bro.
No,
Ed.
I just wanted to update you guys because you had me calling that broker. So this actually set up a good idea for me as well. I tried calling that broker on the one you guys role played on, right?
Yep.
And it went to the property management company. They're off site. She didn't even know where the broker was, and I was like, "Hey, can you give me a direct line to call them?" And they said, "Oh, the shows are offline. They might be off for the holiday." So they're not even in the same office. They might not even be in the same state for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some homework, or if someone actually like take the initiative and you want to schedule call the brokers, spend I would say probably on like Friday or even the weekend. Go to some properties on LoopNet or like we did today on apartmentbuildings.com or whatever it is. Email brokers saying, "Hey, are you available between the times we have this call for a call?" Schedule it with them. So we're not kind of like trying to scramble and schedule a call or like hope they pick up. This way you're prepared because you know the property, you know the area, you chose the market, and you can pick anywhere. If you want to buy in that area, cool. If you don't want to, cool. And that way you can schedule something like, "Hey, I want to call you at, well, on Pacific time. So let's say 11:30 Pacific time on Monday next week." And you schedule that Friday or Saturday, and then now you can come here and you have a full schedule. You know they'll pick up. They don't pick up, well, have a backup plan like 10 minutes later, let's say, or 20 minutes later. So that's something you can do as well to prepare for next week.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Thank you. That's really keen insight there. We can definitely use that and have it like back to back to back. I think the goal Peter had mentioned, he wanted to have like 6 calls, right? So 15 minutes each. We just boom, 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 boom. And I believe was there a spreadsheet where they could book the call, Peter, like where to book that time slot, or no?
I haven't created that. No, I guess we could use a Calendly if people, want to fill up those slots.
All right, so we'll do that. And if you guys want to go to Multifamily Freedom Chasers Facebook page, and we'll post it there. And when you have something booked, you can book it on that Calendly slot there. And it'll be cool too, because then the broker will get the invite and be able to say like, "Oh, this is really nice. They're professional, right? This is how they communicate." All right. So that's it. We are all done. I want to make one more announcement. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, you're going to see that guy, Ed, and myself go over the napkin underwriting. We give you the document that you need. We'll go through the deals, talk it over. It's going to be great. We have fun. And it's the next step in the process. So don't miss that. Bring your deal. And we'll do one last thing. So I'll put this on gallery so everybody face could be on here. If you can, for just like 10 seconds, if you are available, turn your cameras on and let's take a group picture together.
There you go.
And we're going to post that on our social media and just tag us in there, right? This is how you give back to us. Because what we want to do is we want to continue to spread this out and make sure more and more people are knowing this. And look, I'm doing this too, right? I'm not too fancy myself. So, all right, we're going to do it. And on 3, well, I don't even know what should we do. Should we smile? Should we hold up a finger? Like, I have no idea what to do at this point. Like, what do you, Peter, what do you think we should do? Oh, the phone. That's amazing, Ed. Let's do it. So everybody hold up your phones. And we're going to do it on the count of 3. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Perfect. That was awesome. That's going to be the new thing. Make sure you take a picture yourself on here. Tag us on there. Let us know how much you enjoyed it. Post it on Facebook. Post it on IG. And if you guys need us, you know how to reach us. Our contact information is here. I spent like all night putting that little cell phone thing right there. I'm not even sure if it works, but I would greatly appreciate if you guys could just scan it just to tell me if it does or not. Love you all. Have a great one. Wait, Jeremiah just posted something. I just want to make sure I don't miss it. Oh, this was awesome. Thank you so much. So Jeremiah just posted major brokerage houses. I would suggest everybody clicks on that. He made it real clean and precise from the list that I had put up. Awesome job, bro. Appreciate that. Make sure everybody get that link. And with that being said, good people, we are good. Enjoy your day. See you guys next week, or see you tomorrow. Peace.